representing Argentina, Tomas Etcheverry. And please welcome, representing Australia, Minaur.
Well, good evening everybody and welcome to Ken Rosewall Arena. Todd Woodbridge alongside of Jim Kerr as both teams make their way out onto court. Tomas Etcheverry of Argentina leads the way against Australia's Alex de Minaur. And Jim, a must-win scenario for that man, Alex de Minaur, to keep Australia in this particular match. It is Group F for Australia versus Argentina.
And it's certainly a must-win, but he's the guy you want on the court. Tomas Etcheverry, a big hitter from Argentina. He's dangerous, but the Demon is so good when he has the green and gold on. And you know he's going to be fired up and ready to shoot out like a cannon into this contest.
Yeah, he's certainly ready to play. He's had a good end of year, recovered from injury a little better than expected. He's out of that net early, on the balls of his feet, on his toes. Tomas Etcheverry just joining in for the coin toss. We'll listen in here.
So, gentlemen, please, after the coin toss, there's going to be a picture with the two kids there and you two alone, all right? So we have the automatic shot clock. For the towels, you can put on that side on the box. You have also two assistants, as you can see in the corner. You can put the towel in the box. You can see, para las toallas, and they're going to bring the box to you if you want the towel faster, all right? You have any questions? No? It's going to be your choice. You have AO or John Newcomb. John Newcomb. John Newcomb. Here we go. In the air. Yes. John Newcomb. Receive. Stay. Picture, please.
Well, Beauty Nuke, as we used to say in Australia, one of our greatest ever, is on the coin for the toss throughout the Australian summer. Australian Open champion, Wimbledon champion. And that man, as he goes back, Alex de Minaur, he doesn't have a stadium named after him just yet. At least you have to do some pretty hitty things in Australia to get that recognition. But he certainly does play well. You could almost say that he owns this court. This is where some of his very best results have happened on Ken Rosewall Arena.
There's no question about that. And at the United Cup earlier this year, at the start of the 2024 season, as we get the 2025 season underway a little early here, he was rock solid against some big name players. Alex de Minaur with some big time wins over Taylor Fritz and Sasha Zverev, and that guy Novak Djokovic too. So he played very well here, and he's playing against a guy in Tomas Etcheverry, this big hitting tall Argentine. Well, he has a dog named Roland Garros, and that should probably let you know that he likes clay the most. So this surface is a little bit foreign for him compared to Alex, but he's going to give it a go, and he's got a little bit of house money to play with Argentina up 1-0.
Certainly does. So both 25 years of age, career trajectory's been somewhat different between the two of them. You mentioned Roland Garros. They have played on one occasion. It was at Roland Garros, and Etcheverry beat de Minaur in straight sets on the outside course. It was very impressive that day, completely overpowered the Australian. I don't expect that to happen on the hard court here today, though. Bit of a difference in height between the two, but it's interesting when you haven't been around Alex for a while, which I haven't for 6 months or so. Every time you see him, he's just added a little more muscle and a little bit more weight to the frame, which is certainly helping him up the ante on the power that he can possess off the ground strokes. But Australia led by one of the all-time greats in Leighton Hewitt, and he is courtside, Jim.
3 minutes.
Why don't we have a chat to him? You can lead it off.
Leighton, first of all, give us sort of your thoughts on where Alex is as we enter this new season.
Yeah, well, g'day, boys. The new season comes around bloody quick, doesn't it? Straight after Christmas. So we're back into it, but what a time. You know, the summer of tennis here in Australia, we all look forward to this, and no one more so than Alex. He's had a pretty tough pre-season, but he had a tough second half to this year as well. Getting injured at Wimbledon, he was playing as well as he's ever played for the first half of this year, and really a bad injury, and it took him quite a while to get over that. And it's really only been in the pre-season, in my mind, that he's actually started to feel as close to 100% again. And I've been really pleased with the work that he's put in, and his practice this week has got better and better. So I'm expecting a really good performance here tonight by Alex.
But when you talk about the work put in, Leighton, he posts a few things on his Instagram of training. He was in Monte Carlo. He's running 400s and 100s and hills and all sorts of stuff, which looked exhausting. Obviously, to be able to do that, you've got to be feeling 100% well physically. Yeah, absolutely. And I think he tried to do a little bit more running this pre-season as well. So he's certainly got the miles in the legs. And I guess the one positive that I've spoken about with him is that the second half of last year, as frustrating as it was mentally for him, because he wasn't able to play in a lot of the big tournaments leading into the US Open and the Asian swing as well, at least it gave his body a little bit of a break as well. So he's going to be coming in here physically pretty fresh to start this season, whereas a lot of these other guys played pretty deep into the year and played a lot of matches as well.
And what about the keys for Alex in this particular matchup against Etcheverry?
I think the focus at the start is to try and play on his terms as much as possible. He loves playing in this centre court, Ken Rosewall Arena here. He's played some of his best tennis out here, but I think it's really trying to take time away from Tomas as much as possible. As you guys spoke about, he enjoys playing on the clay court, so trying to rush him and trying to set up the point with obviously good depth as well, trying to spread the court and then look for the opportunity to hit and come in and try and play on Alex's terms. And if things aren't going well, then we'll have to look to a plan B or a plan C. But to start things out, I think that's going to be the focus.
A little night tennis. Leighton, Todd, myself, kind of feels comfortable.
Yeah, it certainly does. That's one of the things, Leighton, for me. How do you think Alex handles the pressure coming into Australia these days? Is he comfortable with that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think he really enjoys it. He embraces it as much as possible. He'd like to play a lot more big matches, Davis Cup matches back here in Australia throughout the year, and he doesn't get the chance to do that. So I think he really looks forward to this time of the year, and he missed a couple of Australian Opens early in his career when he was injured as well, and I think he just really loves getting out there and competing and enjoys playing in front of these big crowds that are obviously so much in his favour as well.
Well, thanks, Leighton, for piping in with us here. We'll let you get focused. He's on his way over. And that's what it looks like from up above here. Ken Rosewall Arena on the grounds of Sydney Olympic Park Tennis Centre. And beautiful evening. Scorching hot day here it was yesterday, followed by a severe thunderstorm which cooled things off. But a much nicer evening for tennis. And I tell you what, Jim, a great start to the season for fans in the house too. Big audience here tonight.
Yeah, sure is, big audience, and they'll enjoy the canopied roof here, which is going to limit the breeze because it's quite windy outside, but inside nice conditions for these players and for Alex. Without having much wind, that will allow him to be that much more offensive and to try and execute that game plan that Leighton so generously gave to us. So let's see. We are a fair set. Australia needs this match to send it to a decider. The win predictor in Minaur's favor, as expected. Can he deliver against this big Argentine?
Australia, Alex de Minaur, 2-7.
Let's find out together, shall we?
Ready, play.
Well, that's the sort of tennis straight out of the blocks that Etcheverry played against de Minaur on the clay at Roland Garros. He really looked like he felt he has to try to overpower him within the rallies. That was his key on the clay. It's whether he gets enough time to be able to do that here tonight, Jim, on a hard court, which, sitting courtside earlier today in the first of the men's singles matches played here, it's quite a slick court.
Well, slick court is the best court for Alex de Minaur. He is so good at taking time away from his opponents, changing direction, and really trying to make sure that Etcheverry's offensive options are as limited as possible.
Ball.
Nice opening service game for Alex de Minaur and Australia. And when we talk about courtside, joining us courtside tonight is Josh Eagle. Josh, your thoughts from down there early on?
Oh, you're spot on, guys. The court is slick. It's just a matter of whether de Minaur can keep the points short, keep this ball nice and tight. And you want to keep the rally short, of course, against a clay court. It's a full house down here. The atmosphere is absolutely buzzing, as it always is when Alex plays. He's well entrenched in the top 10 now. He is a genuine superstar. So conditions are perfect for Alex tonight. It's whether Tomas Etcheverry has enough time to use these big weapons is what I'm looking for tonight. And on the flip side, if de Minaur can keep the rally short. But so far, a positive start for a beefed up, more muscled up Alex de Minaur. He's looking good.
Well, let's take a look at the Etcheverry serve for the first time. Fanatics in the house here.
Representing Team Argentina, Martin Etcheverry to serve.
Says his idols, Novak Djokovic and Juan Martín del Potro. He said if there was a shot that he could add to his repertoire and be the del Potro forehand. Of course, del Potro hailing from his home country.
Similar in size to Juan Martín del Potro is Etcheverry. Quite tall and takes big cuts at the ball like his idol. Didn't they used to call del Potro's forehand the Thor hand?
The Thor hand.
I think so.
It was quite a flat stroke, wasn't it? But he was so tall, he could just lean on and drive through it. That's a flat shot too, the forehand of Alex de Minaur, and that's one of the things that he's constantly working on, is trying to get shape on the ball. And by shape, you can watch here, Jim, as he goes through that one, it really lengthens through the ball, doesn't really finish over his shoulder for a long time. To get more spin, you've got to get up the back of it quickly, and that's one thing that he's really trying to add more to his game.
De La Peña, captain for Team Argentina, someone that we played alongside in our time. Todd?
Yeah, the lefty
Yeah, former top 50 player, good in singles and in doubles, and a real firecracker of a personality. You'll see him up and active plenty in this match, as he was in the opening singles match.
The ball just flying a little bit on Minaur at the moment. This ball should be fairly settled in through the warm-up and the first couple of games here. Sometimes you'll see them fly off the racket if they're brand new, and they were very quick in the ball changes here earlier today.
Zipping through the air without a lot of topspin on it. You were talking about him trying to impart more spin for control on the forehand, or shape, as you put it, a little more height over the net and dip it down. That one just screamed long with very little spin on it. And puts him in a left 30 hole.
That was close too, almost a double. But he doesn't mind being patient, Minaur, and he did it well there.
You could see him reacting to what happened in the points prior with the forehand. He was much more cautious in this rally, and it was the two-hander down the line, the change of direction, that did the damage. Look how flat that follow-through is. A laser beam to 15-30. Hasn't yet found that smooth rhythm on his serve. Last year, when he came to this tournament, he'd add a little more shoulder turn to his serve and some beef to it as well.
Beautifully constructed point, one of his stock plays there. If he goes cross-court, if you drop it short a little, he'll take it down the line, and he's very swift moving in, and I think one of the best transitional volleyers in the game currently. This is that setup. Doesn't hesitate as soon as he knows he's got his opponent with that single hand off the racket.
It's an interesting matchup on a lot of levels. One of the more interesting components to it, I think, is the court positioning and how Etcheverry likes to stand deep in the court, gives him more time on the ball. He has plenty of power, long levers to work with. Minaur A little bit slighter, stands on top of the baseline and tries to take time away from Etcheverry. Take the ball early as much as he can. But when you take the ball early, you don't have to actually hit it as hard to do the same damage. The ball gets on to Etcheverry very quickly when you're taking it on top of the baseline like he does here. Wonderful 1-2 combination. That takes perfect timing. He had it.
Well, testing service game. Comes back from love 30 to hold, and Australia lead 2-1 in this opening set. Well, Sydney playing host to 3 of the groups here at the United Cup, and some of the players have been out visiting, and this is one of those places to go if you get to Sydney too. This is Manly Beach. It's located on Sydney's north. It hosts millions of visitors each year, and the locals too, which love it. It's picturesque, and of course you can get there from Circular Quay by ferry across the harbour, one of the most beautiful ferry rides that you will take around the world, and that's what awaits you at the other side. Lovely restaurants, and you can see in the distance at the top of the screen the CBD of Sydney. And this is Group F. It contains Australia and Argentina, who are going head-to-head tonight here, and the third country is Great Britain. Well, almost a full house here in Sydney, and they're right behind Alex de Minaur. Solid start in the first match of his season for 2025.
Congratulations in order for Alex and Katie Bolter, the great British WTA player. Got engaged recently. A little bit of a fever, that Casper Ruud as well. Felix Auger-Aliassime. Something in the air.
Tend to feel in this matchup, Jim, that Alex de Minaur has to absorb quite a bit of aggressive tennis from Etcheverry and wear him down and see whether he's able to sustain that controlled aggression. That seems to be a bit of a downfall for him in terms of his consistency and where his ranking is compared to that of de Minaur.
I think one of the things that Alex can use is something that, like the new service motion he deployed at the United Cup for the 2024 edition. He used a lot of slice backhands, didn't he, last year, with great success. A lot of change-ups, kept the ball low on players like Zverev and Djokovic and Taylor Fritz, and that was a big part of his success in those 3 top 10 wins at the United Cup. $220K. That is monster pace.
That's what he does so well, de Minaur, in his return games. He gets that ball back into play and then really goes into lockdown on the big points, and that's a pressure point at 30-all early on in a match like this. That one catches the frame and goes wide. So first break point of the evening for Australia. And he gets it, wonderful depth from de Minaur and the early break. And the Australian bench will be very happy with that indeed. And Josh Ingle is down there with the men's doubles gold medalist from Paris in 2024, Matt Ebden.
Yeah, he had a great year, didn't he, boys? But Matt Ebden, what a start here from Alex de Minaur. Always so comfortable and hard to beat on this court.
Extremely. I think his incredible year last year started here in Australia in this event. He played lights out, you know, the whole week from Perth to Sydney, and he's kind of kept that momentum the whole year. So keep it going here.
And mate, your year doesn't get much better than what you've achieved. A gold medal, a Grand Slam, just getting better with age.
I don't know about that, but learning from the guys around me and keeping trying to improve even as I get older. But you know, I've got great people around me, all these guys like Alex, Leighton, you know, all our teammates, our coaches and mentors, and keep teaching me, and I'm keeping learning, so I'll keep trying.
And ready to go. Hopefully Alex does get the win, ready to go in the mixed doubles.
Yeah, it's going to be, you know, first match of the year, even though last season was just a few weeks ago, but excited to play here at home. It's nothing better. Hope we feel comfortable out there from the word go and, you know, try and do the job for Australia.
Should be full of confidence. We wish you all the very best, mate.
Thank you.
Well, another good point from Alex de Minaur. But how about the messaging? Surround yourself with good people. Listen, watch and learn, and see what happens. And Matt has certainly done that very well over his career to this point. He's still going strong. He's giving us the full repertoire, Jim.
Sending that approach shot deep into the corner and then just ghosting in behind it for a deft drop volley. Good bird's eye view of it here. Not really bird's eye, more like an ant's eye, but it's with the point.
Begin.
Cuando te metes, más firme, firme.
Super service game to consolidate that break for Alex de Minaur, and Team Australia have 4-1 in the opening set.
Against the wall.
Well, Alex will be very happy with that. Did weather the storm a little bit, had that tough service game at 1-all, and then has managed to really take control of this opening set.
It's not always easy also in your opening match to settle in. Everyone's anxious, everyone wants to get the season going, they want to get off to a good start, and we've seen Alex in past years as he was getting his season started overhit and overplay and make a lot of unforced errors and cause himself some troubles, but he has worked his way in nicely here, overplayed a couple of forehands early and then just pulled back on the throttle. Eventually he's staked the lead.
One of the most beautiful views in the world, Sydney Harbour. It's quite the aquatic playground for the Sydney Siders. They utilise it to the max, you could say, as the sun sets on the second day of this United Cup for 2025. Ken Ronswell Arena in view. And the crowd well and truly behind the home team, trying to keep their hopes alive after Argentina won the opening women's singles. Didn't know Freddie Mercury was in the house. So Etcheverry coming out to serve, trailing at 1-4.
Perfect at the net, 5 for 5, and burning rubber to get up to this one. Listen to the squeaks.
And watch the racket work too. The way he had it out in front of him, he could have played any shot from there, could have pushed this one down the line. Instead, just flicks it cross court beautifully.
Another absolute gem of a point from Minaur. Right on top of the baseline, Etcheverry deep on the court, and Minaur taking advantage of that with the drop volley after this one, pushes him back and just carves it up.
And what he has, Minaur, that most current volleyers don't have. That first volley wasn't perfect, but he had enough pace and speed on it to get through the court that his opponent didn't have time to have options on the next one. And there he could cover what was coming at him. A lot of guys today will just push that ball back and then it plops up and gets, it sort of has a stamp on it that says hit me. Not for Alex though.
Well, he's hitting him hard with the net approaches, Josh.
15-14.
Getting right in there, isn't he, Joshy?
Well, his tennis IQ is so impressive, guys, courtside here. Just the way he has the ability to sneak into the net, it's a joy to watch, and he's just showing his experience here, and it just changed gears ever so slightly, and he really has his man on the ropes at the moment.
He certainly does. He's got a double breaky serve in 25 minutes and has 5-1.
He's been winning the battle on the scoreboard, and a lot of the reason for that is he's winning the court position battle, is the Aussie. Etcheverry, as a clay quarter, very comfortable standing deep in the court. Here's Minaur's rally shots. He is right on top of the baseline on average with his, and the Argentine nowhere near replicating that. If we take a look at his, he is much deeper in the court. And just keep your eyes on Etcheverry within these rallies. From camera one, you'll just see he's back by that Sydney sign quite often if he gets into the rally. But he's about to get out of this set.
What a way to serve it out. Spoke a little too early, but he's still got a couple of set points up his sleeve. Wonderful all-court play from Minaur. Takes the opening set 6 games to 1 in under half an hour. I'd like to think about what you have to do to change between yourself, Jim, Josh courtside. What does Etcheverry need to do here to try to really get himself in this now? I mean, it was 1-1, it looked nice and steady, but since then hasn't really had much say in what's going on.
Well, low first serve percentage in the opening set, just over 50%. Gave Alex a big chance. And even if he hit a big first serve, that was 217K. If you don't hit your spot, how about the reflexes, Josh, of Alex on that?
Yeah, I mean, 220 we saw in the first set. That's how big Etcheverry's serving. But, gee, he's confident, isn't he, Alex de Minaur? And Etcheverry, he's actually not hitting the ball poorly. He's actually hitting the ball well. It's coming off the racket really nicely. However, you're right, it's just those little subtleties that he needs to work on. Depth of shot, maybe shape of shot. Just change things up that Alex is doing so well. And you guys know better than anyone that these great players, your top 10 players, they self-coach and make adjustments so quickly. And Etcheverry in the mid-30s with his ranking, that's the next step for him. He can't let this match just stretch on doing what he's doing. He has to make immediate change, and easier said than done, though, against a player who is red hot as what de Minaur is tonight.
One of the areas of growth for Etcheverry's game is second serve speed. There's a big discrepancy in his past play between his average first serve speed and his second serve speed. It's been very hittable. That was a better one, but he's coming up against one of the great returners in men's tennis. No one broke serve more than the man in the green and gold in 2024 in men's tennis.
Just pushes that one wide. Yeah, just we didn't see it on our camera on screen there, but reiterating that he opened the shoulders a little too early.
Here, Captain De La Pena, who's also the coach now for Etcheverry, very active here in the team zone. It's a great opportunity, really, for someone like Horacio De La Pena, relatively new to the Etcheverry team, to spend some time in the fire with his player. That's one of the great things about this event, is to have the ability, as the chair umpire says something to Etcheverry here, I think related to the towels, which are being delivered in the buckets by the ball kids in this tournament.
Yeah, it's a new initiative, actually, isn't it? First time we've seen that. And instead of them carrying it out and having to touch the sweaty towel, they've got a light bucket to do it. It's just to helping increase the time. They can meet the player halfway, so the player doesn't have to go all the way to the side of the court. Keep the pace of play moving that way, hopefully at least. That's the idea behind it.
Let's see if Captain De La Pena has any ideas that he's trying to implement with his player, any changes that we might see. Court position. Hey, nothing you can do about that. He's just a victim of excellence from the Aussie. Top 50 singles player, solid doubles player as well, as Horacio De La Pena.
Another love game. Holds quickly, Minaur. Etcheverry with the balls once again serving.
Etcheverry can absolutely crush the first serve. He can hammer the forehand. You know how many clean winners he's hit against the defense of Minaur tonight?
Not many.
One.
Yeah. That's
Alex is at 14. That's one thing he needs to try and figure out, is how does he take control of these rallies? That's difficult in speedy conditions.
Well, he needs a little more time on the ball to be able to do that, doesn't he? And he's not getting that. It's
he doesn't have
away.
the same fast twitch as Alex, does he? More like medium twitch.
Yeah, he wants that ball like on the clay to hit, bounce a little higher, and he can then kind of let it drop a little bit when he can get more shape. But when it comes on flat and quick like it does off this court, harder for him to feel comfortable. Oh, look at that. Well, that's where he takes time away. Yes, he's ripped that forehand, but as soon as he saw the ball dropping off its length, have a look where his court position was. We'll get a replay of it here. And he's so quick to get on it. So look, he's looking to come forward. His body weight's always moving down the court. And then bang. And then look at the reaction as soon as it was off the racket. He was looking to come in and pick off a volley. Not waiting to see. It wasn't reactive at all. Fantastic footage.
Just devastating. Again, up on top of the baseline, early forehand, following it in, but no need. That's not coming back. 3 break point chances for Minaur.
That's what you got to do to win the points. Got to get unreturnables and aces.
Second ace of the match.
Vamos, vamos, vamos.
Top.
Nice little comeback for Etcheverry here.
Yes.
Just trying to take a little time.
Chair umpires, I think, trying to encourage Etcheverry to have the ball kids help him with the speed on the clock, get the towel over to him quicker rather than walking all the way to the corners. This is a very broad court, very wide. So Damien Dumois up in the chair trying to just keep things moving along. With this new initiative, the players may not be fully aware of what they're allowed to do. He's fully aware it's another break point coming right up. Yeah, this time the ball girl's going to bring the towel over with the bucket. So that's the new initiative. I like it. I think it's very nice. A little more sanitary, but also speedy at the same time.
Oh, brilliant. Goes back behind Etcheverry and gets the break. Races. to the bench does Alex de Minaur in Australia. Up a set and 2-1. Well, Josh, he made the point, Etcheverry not playing poorly at all, and this was another point here that expressed that. He's doing all he can to stay in it, but just being outplayed.
He's been outplayed, and I think Jim's touching on it. He's too deep in the court, Etcheverry. He is playing on that Sydney sign. You can hit the ball as hard as you want from that deep in the court, but you're not going to win a lot of points. So I would try and chance my arm when I'm returning, if I'm Etcheverry, to try and at least push up and try it while you're returning, because you're not going to have enough impact when you're that deep in the court. So that is the first thing that Etcheverry needs to do to get back into this match.
Well, it's an impressive performance so far from Alex de Minaur. 6-1, 2-1 with the break, and looks very comfortable indeed out here on what I think he would call his favourite court in the world. It was the court that gave him a big start at the ATP Tour level. It's one that he's had success in winning the Sydney International on. He's also had one of the biggest wins of his career on this court, defeating Rafa Nadal. So serving at 6-1, 2-1.
Net for service.
And of course, Alex grew up training here. He was born in Carrs Park, or born in Sydney, lived in Carrs Park, a suburb in the south of Sydney. Then moved over to Spain and came back here around about the age of 13. 13. And trained out here at Homebush at Sydney Olympic Park. Bases himself out of Alicante in Spain now. Multi-linguist. English, Spanish, and quite fluent in French to go with it. I remember at Roland Garros this year, had a young supporter that got behind him out of the stands that is passionate about him getting victory, and took him along the rest of the way, gave him some shirts. And then he turned up again at the Paris Indoor. I think he was looking for tickets for the next tournament. He got them though.
It's a good time to be a de Minaur fan. If you're getting free tickets, you get to see a lot of matches with all the match wins he had in this season of 2024.
Remembering he missed a small block of it too because of injury. Super service game.
That's why it was so impressive that de Minaur, playing through the injury, not at full strength, able to make it out as far as he did. The quarterfinals of the US Open before Jack Draper finally stopped his run there, but his season at the majors last year was exceptional. Fourth round the Australian Open, lost in 5 tough sets to Rublev. Quarters at Roland Garros, where Zverev got him, and then quarters to Novak at Wimbledon. Not able to play. Got injured just the match prior to that. That was brutal.
Well, that was what was so impressive about coming back to the US Open and playing well, because that match there, Novak was nowhere near his best. He was coming off knee issues. It was a real opportunity for Alex to potentially get a big win, go deep at Wimbledon. It was devastating for him. I remember when he made the announcement and he came and spoke to the media, to Channel 9 in Australia, and it was very somber. But if anything, he has a great mentality, even though sometimes he himself admits that he beats himself up too much. That's where Katie Boulder's been excellent. You need someone in your corner, a partner that understands what you're going through, living daily, and they've both been able to help each other extremely well, individually reaching career highs while maintaining a healthy relationship. That's not easy out on tour.
Match, first service.
Sometimes when you play Alex, Etcheverry's, as I mentioned, when he beat him on clay, he overpowered him, just went big, big and big. I think sometimes you need to throw off-pace balls and let Alex make his own pace. He likes to redirect off your pace, and particularly on this surface, and perhaps some slower, higher balls. And just see what that might do for Etcheverry.
Going the other direction in this game, trying to stay right on top of the baseline and be the big dog in the rallies. Alex outfoxed him in that last one with the slice backhand.
A rare unforced error.
14-13.
He's had so much success going behind the big Argentine. Tougher for him to change directions than a little Aussie.
Eventually gets it done, Etcheverry, but he still finds himself down a set and a break. Minaur leading 3-2 in the second.
Necesito que sienta que hay una pared.
Ever done this, Jim? Have you ever been in a seaplane?
I have. couple different times. They're interesting, let's put it that way, but they get you to some really interesting places as a result. Taking off is a little bit funky. Landing
It can be a little bit bumpy.
Yeah, have you done it?
I haven't done it here on Sydney Harbour and get these sorts of views. I've done it in the Maldives, actually going on holiday, but this is a sensational way to see the wonderful landscape and coastline of Sydney. Captain De La Pena, Alicia there in that changeover, really trying to egg his man on. I'm not sure how much of it he was taking in though. Well, as night falls here in Sydney, Josh Eaglewood courtside. Any changes to temperature and conditions?
A little bit. It's a little bit of a cooler breeze, not too much, but perfect conditions for the fans, the players. It's a wonderful atmosphere in here. It's the fans have always embraced when Australia plays.
It's a big stadium, just on 10,000 seats. And of course, for the Sydney Olympic Games back in 2000, Australia to host the next games in Brisbane. Well, not the next to next, LA, and then of course Brisbane. There's always going to come a moment like this, isn't there, in a match for Minaur, who's dominated.
There was one early in the first set, actually, when things were just getting underway. And Minaur was down in the count, and his serve held and then sprinted away with the set. Such a smart serve to take it out to the forehand, where he has a much longer take back. Much more difficult to time a first serve return for Etcheverry. And also, if he does time it, in the deuce court anyway, he's well and truly out of position. Now here's the real chance for Tomas Martin to get involved in this second set. Second serve at 15:30.
Good play at 30-all, takes it wide, a little bit of pace off the serve, and the ball lands on that service line. He's got all of that court to then drive the forehand and follow it in. One of the great tacticians of this era is Minaur.
That looked like an angry backhand from Etcheverry, but it was effective. Just unloaded on it. Found the outside of the line. Finds himself back to deuce. Didn't see anything like that in the opening set.
Just trying to get the crowd behind him a little bit here, because he's realised he had a couple of big opportunities in that previous game. He could have got the double break. And that would have sealed this match. And now it's just got a little tight. He knows he has to get through this one. And he does.
And he was wrong. Australia leads 4 against 2.
He's so much like that man on screen, isn't he? Sometimes when I'm watching at the moment, when the score is set in a break, and Leighton was relentless in those times too when he was at his very best. He just would not give you points, not give you games. Minaur from that same type of cloth. And a wide smile from Leighton Hewitt.
22 clean winners from Alex de Minaur. And he made this court feel tiny for the Argentine for sure. Look at the court coverage. And then eventually he'd get the ball on the two-hander and deliver a gem. That is awesome.
Por eso, hay que apoyarse.
Even the misses are looking good so far tonight for de Minaur. Timing that one really well. Missed it by just a tiny little bit. 214K on that first serve as well.
Good tennis from Etcheverry. Keeps his hopes alive, but he's going to have to break soon. Australia have a set and 4 games to 3.
Australia leads 4 games to 3.
Ahí siento que soltaste un cachitín de más. Muy bien. Muy bien, no bien. Pero soltaste de más. Pero escúchame, en el otro game le pusiste un poquitito perro y ya lo tenía 0.30. Mírame, te necesito más perro. El tipo te hace y ya se la dejas. Que te tires, metésela, te tiras, se la volvés a meter. No que te tira para un lado y ya es punto. No es punto. Se la meto y otra más, y si no para arriba. Y la primera que tengo firme. El tipo, mírame, te abruma y vos en lugar de tirársela para abajo, te la tirás rápido, volvés acá arriba, toda.
A lot of instruction and quite animated again from the captain of Argentina, Josh. And I mean, there's a lot to take in, and I don't know if Etcheverry's really able to take so much in that changeover.
No, it's information overload, isn't it? It's certainly a ton of conversation going on here. But the last shot in the previous game, the backhand down the line from Etcheverry, that's the first time I've really seen him take it hard down the line. And that's the one shot that he has not hit enough tonight. Alex has used it a ton and it's worked a treat. So for me, Etcheverry, he'll learn a lot from this match tonight. I just hope that he learns how to use his backhand down the line to get himself out of trouble, to open up the court a little more. But it's been a hard court lesson so far tonight from Alex de Minaur.
De Minaur serving at 4-3 with the break in the second. He is trying to level for Australia. This, of course, is Group F, and Nadia Podoroska, the 27-year-old, defeated Olivia Gidecki in straight sets to give Argentina the first match win. So if it stays on course here, mixed doubles is going to be the decider. Already had a couple of the matches at this United Cup have come down to the mixed.
14-11.
Earlier here today, Switzerland. Victors over France in the mixed doubles to go through 2-1 in their group.
So Edge is closer to sending the mixed doubles into the decider. And you would think on paper Australia has a decided advantage tied in the mixed, yeah?
Helen Perez, Matt Ebden, both doubles experts. Ebden, of course, coming off a fantastic 2024. Ellen always consistent and edging around, has been in the top 10, sitting not that far out of it. Certainly more of a combination than what Argentina will be putting out on court. What a change-up.
And what a pleasant change this match will have been for Alex de Minaur, who is the best on tour in 2024 at breaking serve, but not holding serve. Sometimes that's more of a challenge for him, but he has not faced a break point tonight. when he's been in a little bit of danger, his first serve has delivered for him. The return's been consistently delivering. He's so good at directing these second serve returns. He tries his best to get the ball into the backhand corner of his opponent. Tried a little too hard on that one.
Perez getting warmed up in the gym. Good 1-2 punch to finish off the service game for Etcheverry. He's going to have to find something special when we come back, because it will be Alex Minaur to serve for the match for Australia at 5-4.
Estas son las más nuevas. Bueno, escúchame. Tenemos que tratar de meternos en la cabeza del flaco. Entonces, el saque que le está funcionando mejor es el de la T. Marcale el de afuera. Marcale el de afuera. Cuando tire la pelota, lo cubrís. A ver si la adivinamos y nos ponemos encima del partido. Cierra el primer saque. Te le tirás encima, lo haces volear. La primer pelota que no le pega, apoyate. Soltale el brazo, pegale. Porque si vos tirás y el tipo te tira winner, no podemos. Y cuando el tipo te domina, que sienta que lo traes, que traes. No le regales. En algún momento va a dudar, algún momento va a dudar. En ese momento tenés que hacerlo jugar.
Well, he's been relentless in trying to give information to Etcheverry, but at this particular point it's just a matter of hanging in. There'll be a little bit of pressure on Alex Minaur as he comes on out now to serve for the match. And Josh, so much of this comes down to the opening point about how Minaur delivers here.
Yeah, he served so brilliantly tonight. It's normally it's not a strength of Alex's, but he has really added some pace on his serve. But the accuracy has been very, very impressive tonight. So for me, I'm really confident that he does get the job done tonight.
He's got new balls. As the etiquette is, he shows those to Etcheverry, and here he is serving for the match. Immediate pressure on Etcheverry to see if he can come up with the pass. He cannot. Perfectly structured opening point from the Australian.
It's been a good performance, hasn't it, from Minaur tonight? First match of the season, but Todd, he just looks so confident on this court. He's played so many of his biggest matches of his career. It's been a great display.
Just That's the type of game you like when you're serving for it. So after an hour and 13 minutes, Minaur with 3 match points. One gone, there's still 2 remain. That's what you've got to come up with to stay in the match. Too good, says Minaur.
It seems ridiculous, doesn't it, that this is the quality or type of shot that Etcheverry has to hit just to win a point. Pure brilliance. That's how well Minaur has played.
So a 3rd match point.
Let's sing it service.
Decisive victory for Minaur.
2 sets to love. 6-1, 6-4.
And so Minaur levels for Australia, and it will come down to the mixed doubles. As Alex goes down to the Argentinian bench, captain Horacio de la Peña says too good. And once again, he finds the form that he so often has here at Ken Rosewall Arena. And what's nice for him, Josh, is that he knows his work is done because you've got the benefit of having an excellent mixed doubles team to be able to walk out on court to try to get the job done for Australia.
That's right. He should feel very confident with what his output has been, and also the fact, you're right, Todd, what's coming up. So a real chance here for Team Australia. There's no doubt about it. They've put themselves in a good position, and sometimes he always surprises me, Alex Minaur. That was a great start to the season. The quality of his ball striking. Take nothing away from Etcheverry. He hit the ball really well, but that's the difference, isn't it? When you look at the rankings, Alex Minaur, top 10 player in the world. He is every bit of that at the moment, and that display solidified that for me tonight, Todd.
Well, very much so. Let's see what he's got to say. He's courtside with Jim Courier.
Alex, this is a match Australia had to have, and you delivered in a big way against Tomas Martin, a tough opponent. Let's talk a little bit about the match first before we get going, but my goodness, that was a high level of tennis. What was working well for you tonight?
I think just being back here in Sydney. I mean, I love it here. As I said, I love playing here. I get to play in front of friends, family, and in front of my home crowd. So what better way to start the new season?
Sometimes the first match of the year can be tricky. It can take a while to get going, but that first set you ran away with, 6-1. Did you feel comfortable straight away out here?
Not straight away, but I've been putting some great work in the pre-season. I felt comfortable with the way I was playing before the tournament, so I just taught myself to back myself and play the type of tennis I wanted to play, and thank God I executed today and got a win for Australia.
Well, it's still 2024. It is a new season. This tournament obviously will finish in 2025, but what a year 2024 has been for you. Into the top 10 for the first time, finishing there this year as well. What are your big takeaways from your performance this season, in spite of some injury challenges as well?
Yeah, look, I'm extremely proud of myself, how I handled certain tough situations this year. Learned a lot about myself. And it just gave me a whole lot of hunger for this next coming season. So I want to push for bigger and better things, and I'm going to work hard, put my head down, and hopefully win a lot of tennis matches.
Well, you had a big win as well. Of course, the news broke that you and Katie Boulter are engaged, so that's another big win you had this year, yeah?
I mean, some would say that's the biggest win of my year, right? Or my career, so yeah. No, it was a great way to finish off the year, and yeah, I mean, we keep on going.
Well, Australia keeps on going as well. One more match to come, a big one in the mixed doubles. Your thoughts on Australia's mixed team? Got experienced hands there, and what's going to be the key in that contest?
Well, look. Hopefully this whole amazing crowd stays for the live mixed doubles. We need you guys. Let's get the Aussies over the line, and yeah, I'm looking forward to either playing or watching.
All right, we'll find out soon. Congratulations, Alex de Minaur.
Fan favourite, inspiring the next generation of young Australians to take the game up and do what he's doing. Such a great role model as he gives some autograph balls out to some of those fans. And not long until the mixed doubles will make its way out onto Ken Rosewood Arena to decide this tie between Australia and Argentina. Nightfall in Sydney as we take a look at some of the match stats. Josh, you're still with me courtside. First serve percentage could be a little bit better from Alex de Minaur, but not the win rate.
Yeah, I think that just showed you the quality of the increase of pace on the Alex de Minaur serve on a quick court. That's where he gets benefit, and that's why he was so impressive tonight. Gee, I thought he hit his backhand. The backhand winners, the 5 winners down the line. Doesn't sound like a lot, 5 winners, but if you have a look through stats, 5 backhand winners is a lot at this level. So I thought that shot did a lot of the damage, where particularly